saying, talking how I want to talk. So, with that being said, peace to the nigga nation. Yeah, I apologize for my tardiness. This is my first time actually scheduling a live. Uh, and once again, as you see, and as you see through previous videos on this channel, that a lot of my content is relative to Charleston White. Uh, and that's intentional, you know, because I consider myself, I'm an admirer of Mr. White and what Mr. White does, and for just on a more abstract level, you know, albeit I have never met Mr. White in person. During these past few years, with the COVID and all things of that nature, I grown to consider this man as a brother from another mother. But that's just all in the intro. Uh, I just got off the phone with my sister, so I'm kind of like my elder sister, so I'm kind of like throwed a little bit. So pardon me. But yeah, Mr. Charleston has returned to Atlanta. Has defied the ban once again and returned to Atlanta. Uh, and this time, it's in the words of Mr. Anthony Dewberry, he said it keeps getting bigger and bigger, and apparently it does. Who would have thought? Uh, I mean, at least I wouldn't have thought. I guess in considering the courses when she was going the way he was going, who would have thought that Mr. Charleston would be invited to the BET Awards? Uh, all things considered, I don't really, the BET Awards. I'm not really BET and BET Awards and award shows. Period. I'm not really too big a fond of, but the fact that his notoriety has risen to the point where not just walking down the streets of stop six walking, and for the purpose of helping the children of stop six, the nigga babies of stop six. We done went from walking up and down the street to the raggedy car with the overhead ceiling falling down. And went through the process of being put in a mental hospital and having to take the medicine in order to get out. He done rolled up and down the streets. No, he ain't rolled up and down. No, then he's left his village and went out to the West Coast and intermingled with those who founded gang with some gang founders and gang members and things like that. And for the purpose of becoming more educated on the culture that is gang culture. Not to mention his history of passing laws and helping to pass federal laws and also building organizations and teaching classes and things like that. So, in my mind and from my perspective, Mr. Charleston is unlike. Well, I mean, is someone is a note is a person in which I have never peace Atlanta is a person in this modern time that I don't do the same thing. I don't have the same accomplishments as Charles, but he is someone in which I can relate to heavily, because in my mind, when I first was introduced to him, I was really taken in by the fact that he had no problem speaking the way he wanted to speak and saying the things that he wanted to say, and and that was in spite of uh, the things he was doing and the things he's saying being unpopular. But Mr. Charleston has returned to Atlanta. Uh, and one of the first times in the I guess one of the times in which he has went there, he's done certain interviews, and those interviews have pretty much for someone who's not a rapping ass nigga, who's not a singing ass nigga, or big time movie star, the numbers in which he received for some of these interviews and places that he's had the opportunity to speak, you know. it's pretty much very remarkable the accomplishments that he's made and the ground he's covered in this time and the public figure that he's become. So while I was at work, I work on the white man's job. I called it my plantation. I named it Candyland. And you know, for while I was sitting there working, I just got to tracing back, and I mean it was like I guess I don't know whether that was today. My days get kind of ran up today. I don't know whether it's today. No, it was yesterday when he got the chain. And I mean, of course, somebody says he talk about the rappers and the materialism and stuff like that, but nah. In my mind, you know, him how do I describe this? Him receiving the chain was not so much of indication that now he can floss and shine per se. It was the point. It was the point that you know I seen it as a point of accomplishment. You know, because being able to witness someone accomplish things in the face of adversity. Because we can't lie and say, we can't deny the fact that Mr. Charles has went through some adversity, because a considerable amount of adversity, and and being in the position in which we are observing, because he does give us the benefit of being able to watch him as he goes through the situations and circumstances that he goes through, albeit that sometimes the phone must be muted because some things we don't necessarily need to hear. But he's pretty much an open book for all this time. He's been an open book for all this time. And by him being an open book and him not having any trepidation or problems telling telling folks what he believes, how he feels, or what he thinks. If you pay attention to that, and you might consider yourself as someone who may have issues and troubles with doing that yourself, it should be inspirational. Just like him going to the gym being inspirational, just like when he holler out the Saturday morning cleanup and he breaks down things in which, if you're of someone probably of my age, maybe a little younger, but my age or older, you should remember when your ancestors and your family, your grandmama, your big mom, your auntie, your mama, whoever, used to tell you you get up and clean up this house, and you have to go through all the methods and motions to clean up your house, and it just how to eat healthy, how and I don't know. I'm just babbling a little bit, but like I said, I got off. I really had this. I really had my mode. I was on my mode, and I knew the things I was gonna say. I had my flow going on, but I didn't got on the phone with my big sister, and she didn't took me all the way around the world talking about all kind of things. But in short, nah, I ain't gonna say in short. But I'm just gonna make these statements here. Now, this channel is called the Niger Room, the nigger room, basically. And and I've had this channel for years. I had this channel long before I knew Charleston, but it was just just like any other social media account you had. It was just an account I had. But once I realized what Mr. Charleston has allowed me to do, has instructed me to do, he pointed out the fact that a lot of the time that most of us spend on this internet is wasted. A lot of this time that a lot of us spend on this internet is non-constructive, and in the consideration of the fact that there's a whole lot of revenue and income that could be made in the interacting or the participation in being online, then it doesn't make any sense for you to just be on there typing and going back and forth with people and not trying to get no money out of it. Now that is something that was constructive. And then you go back to the fact that he speaks how he when the nigger nation, You talk about Pops Weasel. Talk about the old nigga. You talking about we can never be the caliber and the quality of people that our ancestors were, because our ancestors went through things much more um, devastating and harmful than we even with some of the dysfunctional things that go on now. Our ancestor, the quote that I the what a quote that he uses, he says, the life that we as the nigga people, the NIGGA people live, is the life that the nigga people, the NIGGER people deserved. You know, I was on my own particular live earlier today. I was talking about how it seems as if we got to the point where we're a sloppy copy, a distorted, dysfunctional imitation of our oppressors now. And it's not the fact that we flipped it around. We've taken the oppression in which we was received from them and using it to our benefit, using it against them to our benefit in order to like increase our status in this country. And I'm not saying in this country and in this world, I'm not saying that we should go about the practice of trying to mistreat anyone, but to make the point, in our imitation of our oppressors and doing the things, whether it be robbing and stealing from each other, whether it be causing physical harm or death to each other, whether it be misusing each other, disrespecting each other, disregarding each other. Those are things that were done to our ancestors. And the only defense most of the time our ancestors had was the ability to clean together and to take advantage of whatever little scant resources they had and make the best out of them. They were exceptional people. But whereas we today, we have all the accoutrements that they once longed for, and those decades and those centuries ago, all the things that they longed for, we have readily at our fingertips. But what we do, we misuse them. We don't have high regard for our or each other, whether it be a man and woman situation, or whether it be a woman woman situation, or whether it be a man man situation. And if when it comes to the fact where if you don't have any high regard for your fellow man or fellow woman, then eventually that's going to somehow trickle down to your children. So now you have a situation where, with each generation past, as we go further and further past the generation of those people called nigger, and we are now the nigger nation that was founded by Mr. Charleston White. The further and further we get away from those people, it seems like the more of a trash population we become. We don't want to for someone to say that we have to get rid of the violent, the dysfunctional, and those people those other black people that exploit our community, for us to say that we had to get rid of them, and do something about that element to try to transform some minds over, you'll get people that are more adept to saying, more adept to like giving up on it, and or more to the point where they're supportive of it. like like for us to make an example of it, like say for example, um when this rapper got killed and his girlfriend supposedly had posted a picture of the restaurant they were eating at where he got killed at. So it's not necessarily the fault of those who robbed and killed him. It was the fact that she was careless enough to post a picture of a meal at a restaurant where she was that indicated the location where she was. She didn't pull any trigger. She didn't take anything, and there's no evidence that was necessarily connected to her. But what a large population of these social media African American niggas, black folks, so Negro folks have done is that they've taken the fact that she made an Instagram post. Now we don't know whether or not that the people that actually robbed him even had the wherewithal or the sense to even know the woman's name or even follow her on Instagram. But it's easy for us, in order to, instead of placing the blame where it surely belongs, those who participated in the act of robbing and stealing and killing, Pardon me. We put it on the woman. And these is men. I don't think I've seen that many women that were going in on it. Was just strictly. It was just for the most part men on the in the name of you know holding women accountable, expecting expecting not expecting, but putting the responsibility on them in order that she should have had better sense than to post a picture up in a restaurant and that indicated the location where she was. It wasn't the fact that she was out having a good time. So now this is where I'm going. So now it shouldn't be, the argument shouldn't be made, well, she should be able to post wherever she want to be at. Now people are giving advice. Oh, you know better. You should know better than to post your address. She was done posting that address, whatever. Not your address. You don't want to post your personal address, but the address to the restaurant. She was done for that. So instead of them uh making it normal like it is for Mr. Charlie, Mr. Rodriguez, or Mr. Ling, or Mr. Akbar, where they can go to a restaurant and they can post wherever the fucking they are and not have to worry about nobody barging in and trying to snatch that jewelry. And that's another part of it, Uh, I don't go about. I guess once upon a time I might have been about the course of telling Miss Charles, be safe, Charles, to be safe out there. And I mean it's real danger out there for everybody. But it was just, this was more off the strength of motherfuckers talking on the internet. Uh, my thing about it is, there's a certain, you want to be proud that I guess you've earned the money to wear this jewelry and do these things like that, wear these fancy things like that. But still, no way. Even if he did have, even if he did decide to wear 500,000, a million, $2, $3 million worth of jewelry, he should be able to go to a goddamn restaurant and eat chicken and waffles without having to worry about niggas coming in trying to rob and steal from him. But no, it's not the point that where you try to condemn or damn the fact that they did to this man. They took this man's whole life away from him, traumatized this woman. Probably, I don't guess. I don't know. I'm sure there were other people that are around that might have witnessed it. He got traumatized. You know, they did all this, and they don't necessarily get. I imagine, yeah. I don't let me to be too facetious. Say, of course, people want to see him get. I don't know. I guess something, maybe the majority of people want to see them guys get punished. I'm all off charging that. I'm all off the subject when I was talking about charging, but I'm gonna bring it back around to it. Instead of them wanting to see them get punished, these people out in Los Angeles where, like, they have the homeless camps out there, and I heard, I shouldn't say I heard, but be careful what you saying you heard, and what you thought and all that type of stuff. But we've heard Mr. Charles say that LA niggas doing bad. He lived out there. We know about the homeless situation. We know about how uh there's been, as far as, and I'm speaking specifically on niggas, folks. And I'll add in the African American, the blacks too. But we've also heard of how the other ethnic groups have encroached on the Los Angeles territory, where once upon a time it used to be a budding black uh, community with black businesses, I guess, prior to the LA riots and things like that. But now, not so much. Now it's Wolf City. That's less than a month ago they killed that other rapper nigga's homeboy out there with Quando Rondo. And this is all, and this is for, when it all comes down to it, it comes down to, like, oh, okay, it even it's not even that. that any other options are being investigated. It's not the fact that, well, in regards to PNB, it's not the fact there might have been some niggas that was just robbing and just was trying to get a lick. It's the fact that they was robbing, trying to get a lick, and also connected to a gang. It wasn't so much that when Quando Rondo and his friend went out there, his friend got killed, that they just went out there and it just was a jealous uh, jealous of somebody that might have been jealous of them or whatever, and just started shooting at him, and the friend got killed instead of Quando or whatever. It had to be tied to either the Los Angeles gangs or has to be tied to I guess to the G. I don't know what King Von is. And I guess me being where I live, I guess I shouldn't necessarily be talking about it, but it's in print. I live in, but like I say, in regards to the King Von situation, they want to tie all these things in together. They don't want to tie these things in. Well, hold on, I'm sorry. Instead of it just being a situation where Quando and his buddy was out there hanging out in California, his buddy just got shot through random violence. All this stuff is tied into gang activity. So then you go down to Atlanta, where they have back down to Atlanta, where they have Young Thug and Gunner, and they're going through their Rico situation all through the underneath the umbrella that their organization, and they proudly flaunt the organization YSL. You can take the acronym and use it in more than one way. Young stoner life, or it might mean something else. I don't know what the hell the shit mean because I'm not involved in gang activity. I'm not enthusiastic about gang activity. But you got them down there. Then you had the guy Quick Flip Vino. He was associated with the gang. Then you got Soldier Boy. He associated with the gang. And these niggas is blood. They like the Bloods and the Crips. Then you got the Brick Baby Cat. He's associated with the gang. But it's like, well, now it just seems as if this is something that we're supposed to just be happy, not even not be happy with, but it's just something that just should be acceptable. It's just something that ain't nothing that we could do about it. It's just something we got to deal with. All right, well, fine. Okay, let's just say that the brand or the origins or the affiliation of what is known as Blood and Crip or whatever other gang, considerable gang, is put together. Um, let's say that they must be held valid. All right. So now that we have these validated groups, these validated organizations, I guess you might as well throw away gangs because we don't want to have gangs and gangsters has a negative connotation. So we don't want to group those things together. We're going to cast those terms aside. We'll just call this is Community Revolution in Progress organization. I don't know what this is the lifeblood ministry and and lifeblood ministry university hospital, whatever. You know, let's let's say for example if we're gonna cling to these organizations, we're gonna have fond nostalgia, and hold these organizations up, or expected to hold these organizations up as something that should be um, acknowledged and revered. Then why not? Why is it so difficult for them to be associated with something that may be more constructive as opposed to something that is so detrimental to others who look just like them? Um, what up? Oh, that's Jim. What up, Jim? Oh shit, what's going on, man? My guy from Swap. I swear. Yeah, yeah, man. I don't know. So now they call themselves banning Mr. Charles from Atlanta. But Mr. Charles is going back and forth to Atlanta, getting his building his bag up. He got the nanny boo boo chain at the BET Award. And they invited him. They invited him to the award. So it's like, what up with it, man? You in Atlanta? Man, but I know it's gonna be wild. I know it's gonna be wild. I know it's no, but it's always shit going on down there. My sister stay down there. I entertained the thought of leaving Chicago to come down there, but my plantation, Master Candy, Miss Master Candy, Candyland, he paid me a fair wage, so I got to get to the point where I make some other money. And I guess it's part of the pushing the interlope endeavor. Yeah. I know it is. I know it is. I know. So when I say that they didn't get they booked Chuck, the BET got him for 4 days. I know they need to have some skits. They need to have that nigga some skits or something. You know what I'm saying? They need to have him doing something other than just being in the audience. You know, uh, eh, if anybody in these, well, I guess definitely in this year, that in the social media space that has shook it up. Ain't nobody done it like that, man. Ain't nobody the bit the nigga all them views on all these social media platforms. It's not like even if some of these most even though most of this seem like a lot of us are older, but no, Charleston got a base of fans. No matter whatever the YouTube statistics might say, he has a wide base of fans. And it's like when even back in the beginning, because even when I first started listening to him, I had just connected to his page. He said, he came on with live, said, I'm deleting all the niggas off my page. I done told y'all niggas I'd come out, pull my dick out for a hoe's eye and a bitch's ear. So it's like I'm like saying, damn nigga, I'm just here to hear the game. I'm picking up the game and you kicking niggas off, so I was polite, in my accent, I guess in my accent, hey man, I don't know what's going on. I just got here, so I managed to stay on this page on that tip, but it's just wild, man. I got to. I had intended on getting down there to meet my guy, man. I talked to, yeah, I intend on getting down there earlier this summer, but the situation with the monies and things like that had tied me up, but that's fine. And I also I had the intention to drive to Detroit to meet up with him, but I knew that he was there on business and he was there on invite, so there was no need for me to try to meet him there. I wanna, but this motherfucking inflation shit, this Biden, this Master Biden presidency whooping my motherfucking. I know it's whooping a lot of people ass, but my money ain't free like it used to. I used to have a little play money. Now it's like, you better hold that money in case of danger. So it's like, I want to get down there, man, and fuck with my nigga, shake that nigga hand, big. It's like some situation where he's like, okay, if it's just that's a handshake, you just when you see somebody, when you see an individual that is of your kind of personality, and it's not to sound like on some dick rider shit or some homeboy loving s type shit. It's just like a real recognized, real honorable man, a respectable man recognizes a respectable man. Now, you just the recognition of a respectable, decent person, no matter what you might see in regards to the area of the character. If you're smart enough to if you're smart enough to pay attention to human nature and things like that, you're able to see beyond the character. But yeah, man. I don't know, Mr. Charles in Atlanta. I don't make this long ass video. Jim Jones came through my shit, man. Good looking out, bro, man. It be little things. You the only one out there, man. And then on Facebook, they got a game where they don't play on Facebook, where they like, motherfuckers be ashamed to be the only person in the live. But shit, man. I don't give a fuck. You know, uh, I won't stomp down niggas on my page, but my Facebook, my fan page on Facebook, the Real Beauty of Black Relations page, it has a lot of women on there. It's majority women, and I plan on taking advantage of that. All during the course. Another thing that I must thank Mr. Charles for is just with his ability to express himself and to portray the roles of his character, which he does. It kind of like it rubs off. And I watch Drizzle, the way Drizzle be able to work his personality and charisma, and I check out Dewberry do because I seen Dewberry, come in the gate with it and go through the process of building up to it. Then Sane, Sane got so damn good, motherfuckers, and hated that nigga off. Seemed like they didn't hated that nigga off the goddamn internet. But yeah, man, I just got off work at 11, and I stopped by the liquor store. I wasn't able to get my regular, yak, so I got me some Martell. I know I had a half of L, of for this cherry dosey shit. This cherry dosey shit is fantastic. I guess the dosey dough, the girls, I guess Girl Scout cookies mixed with cherry or whatever. I don't know what the fuck. I ain't look at Leafly to see what it is. That motherfucker pretty than the bitch though. And I'm in the legal state, so I can hold a marijuana and I can smoke marijuana. But yeah, I plan on starting this 11:45, but I ended up starting it later. But I just got off work. Basically, what I'm saying, I got off work. I got on the phone and I meant to call my mama. I do my best to call her every night, ever since the pandemic. Because I was bad at calling mama. So ever since the pandemic, I keep a consistent schedule of calling mama. I was surprised when my eldest sister picked up the phone. My eldest sister has been living in Vegas. My mother lives in West Virginia. My eldest sister lives in Vegas. She hadn't seen my mother physically in years. So I was surprised to hear her on the phone. And matter of fact, in the last time I talked to her, she had pissed me off, so I hadn't talked to her in months. So she spent about an hour just talking about random shit to me. And I mean, I'm her brother. And I'm her only brother. By my mother. My papa was a Rolling Stone. She didn't tell me about it. An alleged, supposed some other shit. Now I got a gang of half sisters. I'm supposed to be the only male child by my father. Uh, but I basically what I say that to say I meant to get on here earlier, but I got on the phone with my sister, and she took she blew my brain, so I really wouldn't necessarily focus. But I also knew that I scheduled this live to come on. I said I didn't want to get in the habit of scheduling lives and at least not doing them bitches. Even though I ain't got no subs, I try to play the game. Now let's stop using the word try. I play the game like I got subs. I play the game like I'm monetized. I play the game like motherfuckers try to actually logging on to my shit and checking for me because I know it's all in the form of manifestation. What a man uh, what a man constructs, what a man uh, uh, is able to manifest comes from his mind and his mouth. Of course, actions come into play, but in order to know what actions you must use, you either have to go through the process of thinking or you have to go through the process of asking. So, whatever a man manifests comes from his mind and his mouth. Uh, you know, we love Mr. Charlton's antics, but that sweet old folk game, that granddaddy game, that oh man, that good old information, that guidance above mind emotion, uh, them proper instructions. But man, I hope my nigga have a great time. I actually thought it was last week, and I texted him and I said, "You man, enjoy the moment, enjoy every bit of this moment. You deserve every bit of it, nigga. You to put it down. You told him in the beginning, get out the way so I can put my game down. You went out there and you was hully gully with it. The phone was falling, and just all types of situations and circumstances in regards to the handling of the initial business. All types of snafus in regards to business relationships. But all I see is elevation, and the chain is just eh, we it's cultural. But I mean, it's not even this. We not even go as far as being cultural. Even kings wore jewels. The motherfucking queen had a crown full of diamonds that was stolen from other people right on top of her casket. Nevertheless, man, I done babbled on. I done blabbed on a little bit. You know, it's getting bigger and bigger. Peace to the nigga nation. Nah, I'm not done yet. I got uh, shout out to everybody. A piece of the nigga nation. That includes everyone. That includes shout out to Dr. T. Chandler, uh, uh, Lou Six. No. Wait. Cat. Shout out to Cat. Shout out to Dallas, Texas. Shout out to my people. Shout out to definitely shout out to the OG thing. Shout out to Mr. Dewberry. Paw. Shout out to Paw thing. Shout out to Mr. Charleston. Shout out to Joe Blow. The man behind the curtain. Niggas, Joe Blow think that Buffalo though he there, and don't know the role he played in the group, and in Mr. Charleston's circle. But Mr. Shout out to the Honorable Jesse. Shout out to Miss Keisha King. It's just we just I guess a good part of the Charleston White experience is just knowing, okay, you see the character on the internet, but once you pay attention to the people that choose to associate with him, the Shine Cottons, shout out to Say Chi, shout out to Rainwater, shout out to all the motherfuckers, shout out to Drizzle Dollar. Drizzle Dollar is my nigga. Shout out to everybody. This cherry dosey. This cherry dosey so goddamn good. I need to go give me some more of this. I got about 5 more grams of it left. But I need to make sure I get some more before we get rid of all of it because I love this shit. But let me get out here, man. Jim, man, I sure do appreciate you scamming through on me, bro, with me, brother. I hope I didn't bore you to death. I hope I didn't just ramble on too long about too much of nothing. But uh, peace to the nigga nation. Nigga nation or nothing. I'll holler at y'all the next deal. Peace and love.